What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm down at Hendrick BMW Northlake and we get to take a look at this 2022 BMW X4 xDrive30i. So huge shout out to them for providing this SUV for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. All that info is down in the description. This X4 here is finished off in Tanzanite blue metallic and it has an MSRP just over $60,000. So we're gonna start off today's review with what powers this X4. Underneath the hood, you'll find the 2-liter twin-power turbo inline 4-cylinder engine. This is paired with the 8-speed automatic transmission, and it pumps out 248 horsepower around 5,200 RPM and 258 pound-feet of torque around 1,400 RPM. And that power is sent through the xDrive all-wheel drive system. This weighs in right around 4,700 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 6 seconds, up to its top speed of 155 miles an hour when properly equipped. It also has a fuel capacity of 17.2 gallons, and you can expect to see around 21 miles per gallon in the city and 28 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 112.8 inches. Its overall length is 187.6. It has a width of 75.5 inches and a height of 63.8 inches. As we work our way to the exterior now for this X4, let's start off with these headlight housings. So this does have LED headlights. You can see the LED DRLs, and this even has the LED turn signals in the outer corner. So it's really nice that they have a C-shaped design to them, but only the outer portion is the turn signal, and you can see that activated. There's also a small chrome trim piece running on the top section of the housing, and it just gives it a really clean look from the front here. And as we work our way to the kidney design for the grille, you'll see on this model here, it's finished off in brushed aluminum. We have a really nice gloss black accent right in the middle. You can see more of the brushed aluminum surrounding all of the mesh, and this even has active grille shutters located behind the grille just to help improve with better airflow and aerodynamics. You'll see that we have forward-facing sensors running throughout the middle section of the bumper, and also on the corners, you'll see this has air inlets on both sides just to help better improve with those aerodynamics. And you'll also see a lot of gloss black trim. It's surrounding those cutouts. You can see all the cutouts down in the lower section of the bumper. And then as we work our way up to the hood, you can see there's really nice lines running right down the middle. They also start at the base of the windshield there and work their way to the middle of the grille just to give it a very nice design. And then as we work our way to the side, this model here has the M Sport package. So we get the upgraded wheels. These measure 21 by 8.5 up front and 21 by 9.5 in the rear. You can see the multi-spoke design that they have along with the two-tone finish. There's also more gloss black. You can see that right behind it. We have really nice fender arches both in the front and the rear. You'll see the sunroof up top along with all the gloss black trim that surrounds the windows. We do have the body colored side mirrors as well that also feature the integrated turn signal, and you can see the base of them is finished off in gloss black as well. And then we have really nice lines running down the side profile. You can see the one that's right at the height of the door handles. We have a lot more lines down in the lower side skirt there. And with the X4 here, you can see we have that coupe-like design, so we have a really steep rake to that rear glass. And then last up in the rear, you can see the body colored spoiler. Has really nice lines on it. You can see the lines continue just behind the sunroof there. And we have really nice lines on the top section. We have the BMW badge right in the center. This also has a backup camera that's just above the license plate. You can see all the backup sensors as well. And you'll see the dual exhaust as well as more gloss black. It's covering the entire diffuser there. You can see it's also above the license plate and works its way to the side corners. So just breaks it up from the blue and gives it a really clean look. So that's a look at the exterior for this X4. Let's go ahead and take a look at the interior. So I have the vehicle locked, and with the key in my pocket, I'll just grab on the door handle. You can hear it unlock, where now we can move on to this beautiful interior. The color of this leather is oyster. It has a really nice touch to it, along with the silver stitching. You can see the wood trim surrounding the release handle, along with lock and unlock and the memory seating adjustments. There's also brushed aluminum just behind that. We have all the window controls along with the side mirror adjustments and the release for the power liftgate, all finished off in brushed aluminum, of course. This also has a 12-speaker audio sound system, and you can see there's a good amount of storage space down in the lower section of the door. And then on the door sill, you can see the M badge because this has the M Sport package. And we'll get another look at these beautiful seats. I love the color, especially against this exterior color. You can see all the stitching, really nice design running down the seats. And you can also adjust the forward section of the seat just by pulling on that tab. And then down on the side, you can see all the automatic adjustments. And now it's time to work our way to the interior for this X4. You'll see the door sill is very low, so this makes it very easy to enter and exit. You'll see with the grab handle, we can easily reach out and shut this. And looking at the steering wheel now, you'll see it's completely covered in solid black leather. There's black stitching running along the inside, and we even have more of the brushed aluminum for all of the trim accents. It's even on the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters as well. But let's go ahead and start this up. So we have that button down below, and with my foot on the brake, we can start this up. And looking at this digital gauge cluster, you'll see over on the left side is the fuel gauge as well as miles per hour. On the right side is the engine temperature and the tach. You can also go through some information within that tach there. Currently, you can see some data information. If I use this button on the top section of the turn signal stock, just by pushing on that once, you can see a live readout for horsepower and torque. So if I give the vehicle some gas, you can see those adjust as needed. If I push on it again, you can pull up the G-force meter. You can also pull up music. We can also see what gear the vehicle is currently in. Along with the driving mode, you can see comfort. There's also a live readout for MPG. So it's nice to have all that info front and center. And you can also see a map for the navigation. So when you have that on and running, you can see that right in front of you. And then as we work our way to all these steering wheel controls, over on this right side, you can see volume and tuning for the radio, along with Bluetooth and voice commands. On this left side, we have all of the cruise control settings. And again, you can take another look at these steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. Definitely a very nice design. This also has a heated steering wheel, and you can see the M badge down below. And then as we work our way to the left side of the steering wheel, you can see down here, we have a pretty large compartment where you can place any items that you'd like to. We have all the headlight and parking light adjustments. You can see more of that brushed aluminum. And this model also has the interior ambient lighting. So you can see that strip just on the top section of that wood trim. And then as we work our way to the middle, we have the 12.3-inch touchscreen system, or you can use all these controls down below. So you'll see we have media and phone, home, map and navigation. The rotary dial is right in the middle, and then back and option is behind that. So if I click on home right now, this is the home screen where I'm going to use the rotary dial to go through all of this. So you can pull up your navigation, your media and communication. You can also look at some averages for your data, along with traffic and a compass. And then on the last page here, you can look at the date and the time, along with weather and news. So you have all of that right on this home screen, which is great to see. And then over on the far left, this is all of your presets. So you have media and phone. You can pull up the navigation in full screen, so that way you can go through all that info when needed. If I scroll down to car now, you can go through a lot of information. You have your vehicle status, where you can monitor all of these vitals here, including your TPMS. So it's great to be able to get to all of that. We have settings along with your carrying car, so you can go through that info. You can also look at your different driver profiles. So if you have more than one person driving this vehicle, you can have everything set up for them, which is great. You have your owner's manual and some other information to go through. And then the last one is apps. So you can go through your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and all of these apps just depending on what you need to use the most. And hopefully you just saw this does have gesture control. So by using your hand, you can adjust the volume and go through other settings just if you'd like to do it that way. And then working your way below that, you'll see we have more wood trim, more brushed aluminum. We have a shortcut to the intelligent safety right in the middle. So if I go to configure, you can look at your forward collision along with your lane departure, your steering intervention, and your active blind spot. So it's a really nice shortcut to have right there. And just below that, you can see the small LCD screen for your climates. All of those are finished off in brushed aluminum, of course. We have the fan speed, you have temperature for the dual zone up front, along with where you like the air to go. So it makes it very easy to go through all that. You'll see we have the heated seat controls too, along with some other recircs and AC controls. And then below that, you'll see we have the power and volume for the radio, along with all of the presets right in the middle. You can actually hover your finger on this, just depending on which one you like to go to, and see what it's assigned to before actually clicking it. I think that's a really cool feature. Tuning is over on that right side. And then right in the middle, you can see a little bit of storage space. There's a small slot over on the far right where you could place the key or smaller items like that. There's also a USB, 2 cup holders, and a 12 volt right in the middle. And you can pull this all the way down just to hide all of that. There's also the X4 badge finished off in brushed aluminum. And you can see there's even more leather on both sides, which is a really nice touch. More piano black surrounding all the controls in the middle here too. And then looking at the shifter now, with my foot on the brake, the release is on this left side. If I go all the way up, that is for reverse, where you'll see the backup camera up here, along with the sensors over on that right side. And you have some other settings that you can go through just depending on how you like to use this. And you can just pull up these sensors if you need to. But it's really nice to have all those graphics along with the guidelines. And then pushing on that release again, we can go down into drive. If we pop it over into the manual setting, you can shift using this or the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. And then to place it into park, we'll just click the P on the back and it will automatically go into park. Over on this left side, you'll see traction control along with the parking sensors, which you can turn on and off. We have the engine start stop feature, and then the different driving modes. So you can see Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro. And just by pushing on these, you will see the gauge cluster change. So for Sport and Sport Plus, you can see it's currently red. There's also Sport Individual. If I click on Comfort, you can see it changes to orange. And then Eco Pro and Eco Pro Individual, you'll see the entire tack there change, and it will turn blue too. So it's really nice to see that, just depending on how you like to drive this. We have a downhill assist control along with the electronic parking brake and the auto hold assist. And then working our way to the center armrest now, you'll see it was finished off in leather, and we have a good amount of storage along with a USB-C, so you can place any items in here that you need to. And then over on the passenger side, we have the glove box, plenty more space for all that info. You'll see more brushed aluminum. It's even on that glove box handle too. And we'll take one last look at these seats. And like I mentioned earlier, we do have the sunroof. We have those controls up in the middle where I can open up that sunshade, where you'll see it goes all the way to the back seats there. And you can even use that same control to open up this sunroof. And then up top, we do have a call button and the dome lights too. As we work our way to the back seats now, you'll see the door panels finished off just like up front. We have more of that wood and brushed aluminum and the really nice leather. And now at 5'10", it's time to work my way into these back seats, where you'll see behind both front seats, we do have a net for extra storage. You can see the air vents right in the middle, and we have the third climate control for your backseat passengers, where you have the temperature, where you'd like the air to go. There's also a little bit of storage underneath that, and 2 USB-C ports, so that way your backseat passengers can charge their electronics. And at 5'10", with the front seat set at my height, you can see I have plenty of room for my feet and my legs, and I have a few inches above my head. These seats also recline too. I currently have them all the way back just to give you a little bit more comfort. Where if I pull on this tab here, you'll see we have the armrest along with 2 cup holders if you need to use those. And these back seats also have a 40-20-40 split. So I can fold down this middle seat here all of the way to get that out of the way if you have any larger items and you still have a passenger on both sides. And then you can fold down the other 2 seats just by pulling on this tab right next to the headrest, and you'll see you have a lot more interior storage if you need to use it. And last up, it's time to take a look at the rear cargo area. My favorite way to open this up, all you need to do is push on the top of the BMW badge, and you can see the power lift gate open up. Really cool to see that incorporated into the badge itself. And with this open, you can see just how much storage space there is with the back seats up. We have a really nice flat surface. You can see there's rails on both sides where you could put in additional tie-down hooks, as there's 2 in the far corners here, just to safely secure some items. You'll see there's a little bit of area over on that passenger side. We have a net over on this driver's side, along with a strap where you could place items. There's also a hook here, so you could put groceries or other bags like that you don't want to slide around. You can see that being used over on this side. There's also a 12 volt, and we do have this cover that you can remove, and with that out of the way and the seats folded down, you'll see there's a lot more storage space, plenty of room to make this a practical SUV. And then up underneath, if I open this up, you can see we have a lot of storage space where you could put any items that you don't want to slide around, which is great to see. There's a little bit more storage over on that driver's side, so definitely very capable. And then up top, we have 2 different buttons. You can close and lock the vehicle, or use the one on the left and it will automatically close. All right, so getting this 2022 BMW X4 out on the road now. Surprisingly, this is the first time I've ever been behind the wheel of the X4. I've been in pretty much every single BMW that there is to offer. This is the first time in the X4, and I'm really liking it. For the size of this vehicle, it's not really small on the inside, which I like. We have that steeply raked rear glass to give you that coupe-like design for this SUV, but at the same time too, your backseat passengers have plenty of headroom, and you even still have a lot of cargo space. So I think that it's great that it doesn't really hinder that amount of space that you can have in the back, making this a practical SUV for the smaller size that it is. So I think that's great. But now that we have this out on the road, it drives pretty much like every other BMW SUV that I've been able to drive. And I love that we have the different driving modes, just depending on how you'd like to drive this. So let's go ahead and pop it into a Sport Plus. We'll put it over in the manual setting there, and you can see what gear you're in down on the gauge cluster. We'll give it a little bit of gas. It's not a loud SUV by any means, but we're up to speed just like that. I love how responsive these paddle shifters are. And if you want to, you have the other driving modes. You can put it into eco mode if you just want to cruise and save on your MPG. As we come around this turn here, not doing anything crazy. It handles well. We're not going to get out on any twisty back roads in today's review, but from driving other BMWs, it's going to handle very well. And as far as visibility goes, while we do have that coupe-like design, there's a little bit of a pillar over that right side, but honestly, it is not bad at all. If you have your side mirrors adjusted properly, you can see around that. There is a small window just behind the headrest for that second row, so you can see over that right side. I can look out of my left side there. Visibility is really good in all directions, and even with that glass, I have perfect visibility over the headrest in the back. So visibility is not a complaint for the size and the shape of this vehicle, which is great. We're gonna give it another acceleration here in Sport Plus. Wow, and just in normal mode there, it shifts pretty smooth on its own, which is great to see. And taking bumps like that, even in Sport Plus, it absorbs them well. So it's really nice to see that. And after I've put a few miles on this so far, it's been very comfortable and quiet. I have no complaints with road noise or wind noise, anything like that. BMWs are pretty quiet on the interior, which I love to see, adding to the daily drivingness of this vehicle. You can daily drive this every single day. You have plenty of room. It's going to give you that comfortable ride that you're looking for as well. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for my walk around review and test drive, getting behind the wheel of this 2022 BMW X4 xDrive30i. Once again, a huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this vehicle for me today. All their info is down in the description. Make sure you guys check them out. And if you enjoyed today's review, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button if you'd like to stay up to date with our daily uploads. And I'll see you guys in the next video.